Hello, guys and dolls. How are you? Okay, so I want to introduce you to this lovely lady. This is Bobbi Boss Kyla, Kyla, Kyla. And as you can see, she's a soft pink bob. Okay. Now, I will tell you there were lots of flyaways, lots. See, and there's still some. You're going to have a lot of flyaways. So you're going to have to, I did have some shedding. You're going to have to trim those down, you know, trim, make them as even as possible. When you cut the lace, you will have some flyaways. And I do not put anything in the part. I don't put makeup in the part or anything like that. I have on a beige, what do you call it? A beige wig grip. And that's all. I don't put anything. When you're dealing with lighter colored units, white, soft pink, light pink, whatever, any type of soft pastel-y colors. Pastel-y, is that a word? You don't want to put anything in the part. And I know everybody's obsessed with the part. Stop! The hair is the star of the show, not the part. Put a tan wig grip on, put that unit on, trim it, make it look good, spray it, you're good to go. All right? Stop obsessing about the dang flippin' flapping part. Stop. Okay? It looks fine, and I have no powder in it, and I have no nothing in it. This is a GEX grip, and it has an extended top part so that it, for the HD lace, which isn't your friend all the time. So it's cute. It's adorable. The only thing I don't like is the flyaways, excessive flyaways. My God. I had to put hairspray, but I have alcohol-free hairspray. What's wrong with me today? I'm going to show you the back. Okay, so here, it's hard to maneuver because of my setup, but here's the side. Here's the back. So it's basically asymmetrical because you can see how short it is here. I think it's slightly asymmetrical. Was I in frame? Okay. All right, so that's the back. And here's the side. Okay. So the only thing is she's going to be in your face all day. Every time you bend down, she's in your face. She's in your face. That would take some getting used to. And like I said, I did have to spray it because she still wants to do her own thing. But she's cute as a button. I love the soft pink. I'm getting gobsmacked by pink lately. Don't ask me why, but I am. So Bobbi Boss Kyla, Kyla. I haven't seen too many people do reviews on it. So boom, here I am. So I want to talk to you about this individual who saved my number from a dating site many years ago. All right. Some people will do this. I'm looking for my pillow to support my back, and I've got my little earrings on. You always want to make sure you got some cute earrings on or some huge hoops or something when you're wearing a bob, something that you could see. Anyway, so what happened was I don't glue them down. I don't, and it stays in place when you just lay it down like that. It stays. Okay, so anyway. So this individual saved my number, texted me out of the clear blue, sent me pictures of him. I said, I don't know who you are. And he said my name. I said, I don't know who you are. Oh, we talked on a dating site a long time ago, What dating site? So then he named a few, one of which I used to be on, and it's junk. POF is junk. They're all junk. None of them are serious. None of them are wanting to date. None of them, if they need some booty, they might save your number. If they are desperate for somebody because everybody else is tired of their crap, then they will save your number because they could always use you as a fallback. I don't really like being a fallback, but I try to give people the benefit of the doubt because there's a possibility that, you might have been in a relationship, you were online, you got offline, you're now you were in a relationship, you're no longer in a relationship. And so you're like, you know what? I remember this person. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, which usually backfires, but I still try to do it. Anyway, So he was, we're talking back and forth, and I asked him different questions. Well, where are you from? Where's your family from? Tell me more about you. Da 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 da. I noticed in retrospect that he didn't ask me one question about me. Not one. Not one. So that tells me that you're interested in something other than me, which is probably why you saved my number anyway. I could be the booty call fallback, which isn't going to happen. I'm not McDonald's. I don't have to serve billions. Anyway, so never asked me a question, and then we're going to go back to that in a second. And then he was like, I'm going to would you like to go to a comedy show? And I ignored him, and that was kind of cold, but I don't care because I don't get the best vibe from you anyway. So I ignored him when he asked me out. First of all, I don't know you. I don't know anything about you. Why would a person with some sense want to go out with a person that they know zero about? Zero. I don't know your last name. I know where you're from. I don't even know where you live. You say you're from Nebraska, but then you said you're moving to KC, but then you didn't tell me when you were moving to KC. So everything, there's all these little question marks that are popping up. Doink, 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 doink. And he never asked me one question about myself. Not one. Not one. So he said, can you talk? And I said, yeah. And I'm going to tell you another red flag. When somebody's supposedly texting you and they only talk to you sporadically, they'll text and then you don't hear from them for like 10 or 15 minutes. Then they text again. You ask them a question. They don't respond for like a half an hour. I mean, come on. Are you texting or not? Who is occupying your time that you can't even talk? It's just weird. And usually if a person is busy, especially if they started texting you, but they can't talk, they can only talk sporadically, that's shady too. Because if a person's busy, they'll be like, okay, well, I'm getting ready to go do, I'm getting ready to go wash my car, or I'm getting ready to go get some groceries. So I'll hit you back in like a half an hour or something like that. That's what normal people used to do when people were normal. They're not normal anymore, obviously. So it's just bizarre how people don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to give a shit about somebody else. They don't know how to say, well, you know what? I'm really intrigued by you. Talk to me. Where are you from? What do you like to do? Are you working in a field that you're happy with? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What are you looking for? Are you looking for a fling? Are you looking for a long-term relationship? What are you wanting children eventually? And you don't have to ask those questions right away, but at least know the person's last name and where they're from, just basic things like that. Excuse me, basic questions. Excuse me, guys. Because if this person does something crazy to you, and the cops are like, okay, well, what's the person's first and last name? Well, first name is such and such. Well, what's her last name? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? You went out with them and you don't know their last name. So you look kind of silly, right? So get the person's first and last name and we could go from there. So zero interest in me at all. He was more interested in, well, he's supposedly a country boy from Mississippi, okay? And, he don't want no anorexic woman. And he's more interested in I don't give a full body shot. I don't, because there's no point. Because if you are objectifying me, then you objectify me more when you see a full picture of me. So we're not going to do that. I'm not going to help you objectify me, right? And if we meet in person, you're going to see me anyway, so what difference does it make? Hold on. So, no full body shots, because I know how people roll. I'm not dumb. You'll see me in person. If you don't want to see me in person, then that's on you. So anyway, I'm not going to go out with a complete stranger. I need to know more about you before I go out with you. And I need to know if I even like you before I go out with you. You know what I'm saying? And you're not giving me anything to work with. And there could be a reason for that. So he ended up going to Kansas City. I had a feeling that he was just coming through Columbia. And he never asked me, would you like, I know this is last minute and I apologize. Your time is valuable, and I don't want to just be bum rushing you without warning, but I'm coming through Columbia, and if you don't mind, would you like to do brunch, or would you like to do, because he knew ahead of time he was coming through here. None of that. Instead, he wants to take me at night to a comedy show. I don't even know you, man. And then he goes to the comedy show and said, you sure you don't want to come meet me down here? Why do I want to drive long distance to meet a man to go to a comedy show and I don't even know this person? That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know nothing about your habits, what you like, what you don't like. Do you smoke? I don't know, because that's a deal breaker right out the gate if you smoke. And I don't need to be, I have asthma and issues, right? So I don't need to be coughing all night because I'm around you and you puffing on cigarettes and whatnot. I don't know nothing about you. And so let me tell you how this would work. Long distance from here is what Kansas City is. Kansas City is about, I don't know, hour and 20 minutes or something. I'm just ballparking it. It's not a short little 10-minute stint, right? So he wants me to meet him there. Why would a woman who doesn't even know you want to do that? A. B. Why would a man want a woman to travel at night by herself to an area she's not familiar with to see a man that she doesn't even know? That's just a recipe for disaster. That doesn't make any sense. Now, let me tell you what a real gentleman would do. Okay? When men used to be gentlemen back in the 1800s, apparently, he would try to get to know her because he don't want to put himself at risk either. She could be a fugitive escaping the law. He don't know nothing about her. Why the hell would he want to go out with her? If he's concerned about his own well-being, he would want to know the person he's going out with. First and last name, where are you from? Where do you live? Just basic shit, He'd want to know me. He'd want to learn more about me before even thinking about asking me out anywhere. He'd want to know something other than, oh, I like her picture. That's what a gentleman would do. And he'd show genuine interest, and he would ask her out in the town that she lives in. I will be in Columbia tomorrow. I know you don't really know me. I'm going to tell you more about, you get to know the person first before you even ask them out. Okay. This person, like I said, could be a chain smoker. They could be a chain cusser. Every other word is the F-bomb. You don't know. You don't know this person. So anyway, he'd get to know me on the basic, very, very, very minimal basic level. What's your name? Where are you from? That kind of thing. And then he'd say, I know this isn't really a lot of notice, but I'll be in Columbia tomorrow, because he knew he was going to be in Columbia. This wasn't something that was a surprise to him. Okay. I'll be in Columbia tomorrow. I know you don't know me that well. I mean, we have gotten to know each other to a certain degree, but would you like to do lunch tomorrow or something like that? You don't wait till the nighttime falls and then ask a strange person that you don't know to go out with you, who is your stranger to them. It just doesn't make any sense. And a gentleman would not want a woman driving at night by herself to an unfamiliar area anyway. Now, here's where I'm going to reveal that I'm super old-fashioned. And I don't fit in today's society because of it. Milo's outside. He's getting pissed, and I don't care. He's going to wait. Because he ain't going to be bugging me while I'm trying to do this. Anyway, A man who's a gentleman is not going to want her to travel long distance by herself to see him. Okay. I personally feel that if a man is that into you, and I don't mean want to get inside you because that's a totally different story. I mean really into you as a human being, not a vagina, but a person. You're actually into them as a person. You're going to want to take responsibility for her if she goes out to see you. So you're either going to want to meet her in the town that she's at, or you're going to want to ask her once you get to know each other, maybe I could take you to Kansas City to a show. After you got to know each other, you talked for like a few days to a week to 2 weeks. You get to know basics about this person, so they're not a complete stranger to you. And if I'm a guy taking somebody out, I'm going to take responsibility for your safety. I'm going to ask you, do you mind if I take you to Kansas City? I mean, you might even take a month or two to get to know each other. He knew ahead of time he was going to a comedy show. This isn't something that fell in his lap. He knew months ago, probably, or a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever. So it's not something you should mention spontaneously. Hey, let's do this because I just discovered, I mean, it's just ridiculous. You pick her up if she agrees to go out with your behind in the first place. You pick her up, you take her long distance to the show. You ask her afterwards, would you like to go for a quick bite to eat, or do you have to get back? If you have to get back, I understand that. I want to make sure you get home safely. You make sure you bring her to long distance and you bring her back home long distance safely. You don't have her travel by herself. If she's willing to do it, that's on her. But a gentleman would not do that. I'm responsible for you because I'm asking you out. So I'm going to take you under my wing and I'm going to make sure you're cool, that nothing happens to you because you're in my car. I'm going to drive safely. I'm not going to drink and drive. I want to be safe for both of us. That's what a real gentleman would do. I know that's such a hard concept to understand because none of them are real and none of them are genuine and none of them are gentlemen anymore. Because you're sniffing up her skirt like you got a goddamn problem. Pull up some adult movies on your phone, tug it, and be done with it. So you can calm your ass down. Ugh. So tired of people. Tired. So anyway, you're responsible for her. There was a lady, and I'm going to let you guys go. There was a lady who, hold on a second. She flew long distance to see a man she didn't even know. She'd only talked to him for a couple of months. Y'all might remember this story. She's a brown lady. I don't know her ethnicity, but anyway, regardless. She went to see this guy who's a cop. And she flew long distance to see him. She's only talked to him on Instagram for a couple of months. Only a couple of months. You don't know this person. You know them on a superficial level if they're even honest with you. That's another key point. Just because they told you a bunch of stuff doesn't mean it's true. Okay? Because God knows people lie as easily as they breathe nowadays. If a man is interested in you as a woman, he should be the man and come to see you. And offer to stay in a hotel or just make reservations at a hotel. So you don't assume that you're going to be laying up under her in her bed, in her house, when you don't even know each other. Anyway, I think she had a false sense of security because he's a cop. I don't care if he's a cop. I don't care if he's a bishop. I don't care what his title is or what he does. He could still be an ass. Okay? She found that out the hard way. So they're both into physical fitness. That she did know, but you don't travel long distance to meet some fool you don't know. I'm sorry, you don't. So he's a cop. Again, false sense of security. They're both into fitness and they both decide they're going to go hiking in the mountains. Remember when I said if a man is going to take you out or spend time with you, he needs to be responsible for your safety. Okay? You need to look out for each other. But as a man, it's a man's responsibility to make sure that a guest, man or a woman, comes to see you. Anybody who comes to visit you, you should take responsibility for them, especially if you're a man and she's a woman. Anyway, they went hiking in the woods, or not in the woods, in the mountains. He lives on the West Coast. And I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know if she got overheated, which is very easy to do. You're going to get heat-related illness. I've been down this road. It's not fun. Been there, done that. Got the t-shirt. It's not fun. You get you get overheated. You get uncomfortable. If you don't get relief, your body gets hotter and hotter and hotter. And then you go into heat exhaustion, which is what I've had. And then after heat exhaustion, you get heat stroke. Heat stroke is a medical emergency that could kill you. Your body is basically cooking from the inside out. It is a medical emergency if you go to the page of a heat stroke. Heat exhaustion first, and then heat stroke. She got very uncomfortable, wasn't feeling well. I guess she started to walk back on her own. He wasn't with her. I don't know what went down, but she saw a house off in the distance and she went to try to get help from them. Where he was, I don't know. I don't know if he kept walking on his own or ignored her or what the hell he was doing. Bird watching? I don't know what the freaking hell he was doing. But she tried to reach the house. She didn't reach the house. They found her body outside of the house on the ground. Dead. You see what I'm saying? This person's responsible for your safety. Even if it is a booty call, which it probably was to him. Because he didn't give a shit about her safety. But even if it's just going to be funsies, adult funsies for both of you, why can't you make sure that she gets home safe? Why can't you make sure that you both have water? You're supposed to be so into fitness, you should know that you have to hydrate. And you should only be hiking certain hours of the day if it's really hot where you happen to be. Make sure that you hydrate. Make sure that you take lots of breaks. Make sure that you don't go too far in the heat so that you can get back at a reasonable time before the full heat of the day kicks in full force. But she died. He got away with it. There were no charges on him. I hope that her family presses charges on him in civil suit for neglect or wrongful death or something. Because, again, you're responsible for a guest who came to see you. I would not be able to forgive myself if I did an adventure with some kind of adventure with somebody and they lost their life and I just sat there twiddling my thumbs and let them die. I couldn't live with myself. But that would never happen around me. I'm going to keep an eye on you and I'm going to make sure you're okay. Make sure that you're not overheated. If you're kayaking with me, I'm going to make sure that you're comfortable, that you're not nervous, that you're not having an issue, or it started off fun kayaking and then you start having a panic attack because water scares you. We're going back to the shoreline. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is just common sense things that you should do. I tell you. Wow. 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 I saw on Instagram where a woman dressed up and wore high heels and makeup and everything to tease her husband. And she said, I'm going to the store. He's like, what? You ain't going to the store at this hour. I'm going for you. Will you tell me what you need? I'm not going to sit. And he did the right thing. I mean, she may argue and say, I'm going by myself because I don't need you telling me I'm looking at makeup for too long or whatever the case is. But that's what a gentleman would do. He put his clothes on. He put his comfortable shoes on. He said, I'm going for you. I'm not going to let my wife go out there late at night by herself to the store because that's not right. Well, you tell me what you want. I'll go get it. Or they could go together and he could sit in the car, wait for her or whatever the case is. And I was impressed with that. Is she capable of doing it? Yes. But it's late at night. Why throw her out there? Why chance it? Because there's a lot of crazy people in the world. Guess who's hunting a lot of times? Not just at night, but in the daytime too. Killers, serial killers, rapists. Okay? People that are looking for vulnerable people or people they perceive to be vulnerable. They're hunting all the time. So why even chance it? Err on the side of caution. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so when I realized this guy he didn't really care about me as much as he cared about how my body looked, which he wasn't going to see a full body shot. I'm not doing it. I already know where your head's at. And the fact that you show zero interest in me as a human being tells me that your mind is limited to the southern regions only, and you were hoping to get some after the show last night. If I'm stupid enough to drive all the way to Kansas City, and then you'd be like, well, you know, I'm staying at a hotel. Why don't you stay with me? How about we don't? I don't know you. And I'm not giving out that, giving out poon like it's confetti at a wedding. Sorry, you got the wrong chick for that. So anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go, but I did take Milo to the dog park. And before you go, oh no, what went wrong this time? Because it's a nightmare going there. It's a luck of the draw whether it's going to be a good time or not. I got tired of that shit. So I took him at night because they're open late. And we had the entire park to ourselves. And it was a beautiful, beautiful thing. No fussing, no fighting, no teeth, no snarling. Dogs snarling at each other. None of that. It was peaceful. It was great. It was great. So, yeah, you guys take care. Much love. Again, this is Bobbi Boss Kyla. And she comes in different colors, but I'm on a pink kick and I can't stop. And I'm addicted and I need therapy. Anyway, much love. You guys take care. And I will talk to you later. Bye.